theory is that the US government was using direct energy weapons to purposefully start these forest fires to clear out towns or for some other nefarious reason.
Disaster capitalism. What is it exactly? Well, it's the exploitation of natural or man-made disasters, such as catastrophic weather events, war, epidemics, etc., in service of capitalist interests. We've seen what's happened in Lahaina Maui, and we'll be revisiting that in the future. Trust me, we have not forgotten. But for this video, we're zooming in on Chile and the fires there. As always, I want to present the following information to you and have you make your own educated determination as to what is actually happening. Chile is a notorious testing ground for the World Economic Forum and their plan for the New World Order. The WEF has said it out loud that they want us under control. We've seen the many suspicious fires in food production plants and the increase in environmental disasters. What was going on in Chile before the fires and before the destruction broke out that wreaked havoc, leaving 131 dead and over 300 people missing? Chile holds the world's largest reserve of lithium. Before the fires broke out, they announced their plan to nationalize their lithium industry. Okay, so Chile has the lithium, which is leverage in a new world order that is less dependent on fossil fuels and more dependent on electric vehicles, etc. Let's really hold a microscope to this. Question: who owns the Chilean lithium mines? Currently, only 2 companies mine lithium in Chile. The Chilean firm SQM, which is nearly a quarter owned by a Chinese company, and the other company is the US chemical company Albemarle. Albemarle is the world's largest lithium producer and is the largest provider of lithium for electric vehicle batteries in the world. Okay, so who owns Albemarle? Oh, I bet you can guess. The largest shareholders include Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and State Street. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? If you remember, the second largest landowner in Maui is Alexander and Baldwin. And on a previous video, we discovered the investors behind Alexander and Baldwin were none other than BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the exact same 3.
Ken, it's great to see you. How can you have clarity through 2027? What about a recession?
Well, we continue to have volume growth.
And in terms of as you look to benefit from the surge in prices, your targets released earlier today show that at the high end, you expect to more than triple output by the end of this decade.
I'm looking at the prices from January of 2020 to January of 2023, and the gains in prices, if I'm reading the chart right, are just astronomical.
Now, prior to the destruction, the former Chilean president decided to give control of the lithium operations to the state. Many people didn't like this, and they called it a big mistake. This move would prevent outsiders from being able to benefit from the control over the precious resource. Keep in mind, the highest value battery metal is lithium. It's the new oil, basically. Albemarle said, quote, "This is the lithium that powers the world." The media reported the announcement as a nationalization, which means a transfer of ownership from private to government control. Here in the US, you may have seen and certainly felt the push to go all electric. As a free trade partner with the US, Chile stands to benefit from President Joe Biden's green stimulus program, potentially increasing demand for its lithium. Just days before the fires, the energy institutions held their conference at Viña del Mar, Chile on January 14th through the 17th. Where are the smart city business headquarters? Well, they're also in Viña del Mar, Chile. Then, right after that, the president of Chile died in a helicopter crash on February 6th. He was the one that wanted the Chilean government to hold the power to the lithium and not let others have it. Outside of that, there are just way too many similarities between Maui and Chile, from all of the missing people, to the look and feel of the destructive fires, to the suspicious names with ties to the land or the resources. The similarities are just too blatant to ignore. Could they really be acquiring some of the most valuable land on Earth by creating disasters to kill off people or by destroying their homes so they can't move back. Local government using eminent domain to steal the land from the people. Laws are enacted and codes created to force survivors into smart cities for total control of everyone.
Maui, specifically Lahaina, has been marked, I choose that word deliberately, as a smart city. And here's what's sad. This is textbook. The evil crisis is created, the reaction is controlled, and then the final evil solution is executed. Question: why Maui? Answer: it's a new smart grid in Hawaii dubbed the, quote, Jump Smart Maui Project.
You want to know something?
You've said it.
Okay, you want to put that on my...
You've said it.
I'll...
Jump Smart Maui Project.
Would devastating fires be a great way to clear all the land? And just like Lahaina Maui, wouldn't that allow outsiders into Chile to make decisions on how to redevelop all of this burnt land? And we've seen their playbook already. Anytime they want someone's land, they will burn it, flood it, or shake it to oblivion, rehouse the victims somewhere far away until they can rebuild, which will not happen anytime soon. And when it does, it's going into the hands of the Fed, just like they did in Paradise, California, and East Palestine, Ohio. Now remember, people reported witnessing chemtrails above these areas with an aerosol accelerant.
Must have run out of aerosol. Keep an eye to the sky today, guys. This is what geoengineering looks like. Just like this. They are blocking out our sun.
Then the area is hit with a radiation or laser type weapon that is extremely hot. In fact, hot enough to melt glass and to turn metal appliances into dust. A white-gray dust, which is totally and completely different than a carbon black ash, which is seen after an organic fire. Wildfires hover around 1,472 degrees, but in order to melt glass, the temperatures have to reach a minimum of 2,700 degrees. Just like we saw happen in Maui, the color blue seemed to avoid being touched by the fires, as you can see here. All right, here's where it gets even more interesting. Just before the fires broke out, they held that smart city meeting in Viña del Mar. Chile had deployed the largest amount of smart city applications in all of Latin America. They had also just converted over 45,000 public streetlights, switched over to LED, complete with tracking and remote control. Each streetlight is a transmitter and a receiver.
This is a 5G LED streetlight. You can tell it's a 5G LED streetlight because of the way that it is. It's an LED, and it has 5G.
The household brand Philips was founded in the Netherlands in 1891 by Gerard Philips. That was Karl Marx's maternal cousin. Philips is the world leader in lighting and a manufacturer of these smart lights. In 2018, Philips Lighting changed their name to Signify. Signify is a World Economic Forum partner as displayed on the WEF website. On their websites, they talk of capturing real-time and historical sensor data that offer actionable insight on activities and trends in the illuminated environment. Back in 2018, they made headlines such as these. Data is the new lighting as Philips unfurls IoT, Internet of Things platform. All data, all the time. The company's new Interact system continuously collects and analyzes information gathered from lighting and other sources. In the biggest declaration yet that the Internet of Things represents, the industry's future, the world's largest lighting company, Philips Lighting, unveiled an IoT platform that turns lighting into a byword for collecting and analyzing data about everything everywhere. Guess who else just so happened to be slated as the first smart city island and to have all of their streetlights converted to LED remote controlled smart lights by Philips? Maui. In fact, the Maui County Department of Public Works was actually sued for violating state law and for circumventing the required environmental review, basically illegally installing the new LED smart lights without any environmental reviews. The evidence showed that the light-emitting diode LED fixtures emitted a high amount of short wavelength blue-white light, which increases the risk to animals. Seabirds like the endangered Hawaiian petrel and the threatened Newell's shearwater will circle bright blue-white lights until they fall to the ground from exhaustion or crash into nearby buildings. This type of lighting also disorients the critically endangered hawksbill turtle and threatened green sea turtle, distracting hatchlings from reaching the ocean and diverting adult turtles from nesting sites. I mean, if these lights are doing this to animals, what are they doing to humans? There's just way too much information and simply not enough time to cover it all in 1 or 2 videos. So we're going to end this one here with plenty more to come. If you feel I earned it, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Share your thoughts with all of us by leaving a comment in the section below. I am overwhelmed and in awe of your continued support, and I truly appreciate it and just want to say thank you. That's all for now. Take care.
I'm just going to throw this in with the hustle bitch, counterintelligence propaganda agent. Can you see through this agent? Because nothing is more convincing or persuasive than something you discover for yourself. I can show you and tell you and explain till the cows come home. And it will not convince you in a way that you will be convinced if you discover something for yourself. So I'm going to upload this video with this short piece just saying I can see that this guy is a counterintelligence propaganda agent doing a smear campaign on plasma fire. And leave it for you to do your homework and see if you can see it. Because at first, it seems like, oh great, finally, someone with a fairly big channel is perpetuating the plasma fire knowledge, getting it out there, doing a show and tell. And then I'm going to show you and tell you on my next video, here in the upcoming video, about what it is that I see and how I know this guy is an agent. Just like Chalk Body Outline and EBT, we're both agents. It's disappointing to hear people say, oh, these two bozos, they just don't get it. But it is encouraging to see 20 or 30 people when I say, no, these guys do get it. You don't get it. They see plasma fire just as well as you and me. They're pretending not to get it. These are counterintelligence propaganda agents. How many intelligence agencies in the world do you think have files on plasma fire and agents that are assigned to that subject matter? Here, let me help you out. The answer is every single one of them. CIA, NSA, Department of Homeland Security, Office of Naval Intelligence, DIA. Every intelligence agency in every country has files, a large dossier on the subject matter of plasma fire. They have agents that are assigned to study it, discover everything you can about it, and agents that are assigned to suppress this knowledge and make sure the general public doesn't catch wind. Okay? Chalk Body Outline and EBT are propagandists. Someone mentioned the other day, they said in the comment, said I saw through CBO and EBT right early on because I was in debate class, the debate team in college or high school, and I could see the tactic they're using. Destroy the messenger, ignore the message. In their little dissertation that I put up 3 or 4 weeks ago, where they're on the front holding machine guns, and it's titled Controlled Demolition of the Truth Community, and I explained to you that's what these two are there for, is for the purpose of a controlled demolition of the truth community. You can see them clicking through, reducing the presentation of my plasma fire videos down to half the screen, instead of whole screen, screen share, he reduces it to half screen, films it from one phone to another screen from about 20 feet back with a moving phone, and then all he does is click. He scrolls along the bottom where you can scrub through the video, fast forward or rewind, fast forward, rewind. He clicks here and he clicks there and gives you about 10 seconds here and there. And when he comes to the spot where there's an unburnt branch sticking right out of a charcoaled tree trunk, he clicks really quickly past that, because even though he's reduced the resolution and the ability for the viewer to actually see the plasma fire, that scene right there, even though he's reduced the visibility to 10%, that scene right there is enough for someone to go, wait a minute, what the fuck? That's an unburnt tree branch sticking out of a trunk. Those are intel agents. Whether or not they are put out by the government or private corporations, I don't know. It's impossible to say which branch of the military industrial complex they are from. They may be from the industrial side of the military industrial complex. Put out there by Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, Bechtel, any one of the aerospace industries, and all of them probably have these online agents that are there for the dissemination, infiltration, the way that you infiltrate a group. If you're going to be like an undercover FBI trying to infiltrate a drug dealer, you got to act and look and walk and talk and sound like drug dealer. You imitate the group that you are trying to infiltrate. You mimic them. You try to blend in and look just like one of them. And there are these truthers out there in the truther community that are in fact agents. And so many people have made the claim, oh, you're a shill, he's a shill, he's a shill, that when you actually see one, you're like, nah, that can't actually be one. Everyone claims that whoever disagrees with them is a shill. When you recognize the magnitude of this subject matter, no one else is covering anything even remotely close to the magnitude of plasma fire. So, when you hear all those other people claiming, oh, this is a shill, this is a disinfo agent trying to suppress the truth that I'm bringing, I'm in a whole nother league. One of a kind. There aren't any others like me. Obviously, point at one of them. Where are they? This is going to be the 7th summer, 6 years. Summer of 2018. That was the first plasma fire I documented in Spanish Fork. 2018. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. That's 6 we've counted off now. And the summer of 2024 will be the 7th summer. 6 full years of me doing this. And there's not another person out there doing it. So that's not conceit or arrogance or an inflated ego when I say I'm one of a kind. There are none others like me. And we'll talk about that soon too, because I've come to a place where I'm ready to accept the rest of you aren't like me. You're like bots. NPC, non-playing character in a video game, not a real sentient human being, a conscious, intelligent person on the other end of that, but just a computer program that's reading scripts. NPC, non-playing character, or a bot online that looks and walks and talks and has a computer online profile, just like a regular person. And sometimes it's hard to distinguish. And you don't even know you're interacting with bots until it's been 6 fucking years. And there's not a single other person out there, human being, who has responded to this anything like the way that I have. And there's a new commercial out. I don't even know what company it is. A lady calls, let's just say the insurance company, and they have a receptionist pick up, say, hello, this is Mary. Oh, hi, Mary. Wow, you robots are sounding more and more like humans all the time. She said, no, I'm a real human. And they go back and forth, say, well, prove you're not a robot. She said, well, you prove you're not a robot. She goes, oh, wow, I can't, can I? How do you prove when robots and AI, artificial intelligence, has gone as far as it has? How do you figure out which ones are bots and which ones are humans? You put them through a process like C19. or plasma fire and see which ones react in which way. It's a stimulus response program. And that separates them. I'll talk a little bit more about that. I'll talk a lot more about that in future videos. Kind of got off topic here. My point is, the reason I got off topic is because if I am to accept that you're not like me, then why the fuck would I bother making another single video? You don't argue with a bot when you're online arguing with some other account that's leaving comments in your comment section and you're going back and forth and you realize, oh, wait a minute, this is a bot. This is AI. This isn't even another person on the other end of this. You don't continue arguing with that character, do you? No. You recognize and accept that what they are is not something that even merits a continuation of a conversation with.